All right, show open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to Sports Econ 101, the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Burton Glenn.
Coming off of that Seattle-San Francisco hangover over the weekend.
And Bruce McGowan.
I don't know about a hangover, but yeah, I have to agree.
Well, Seattle was favored by 9.5, so I front row seat for the kill shot to the demise of the 49ers.
Oh, boy.
Next year.
But we move on. Yeah.
We got spoiled. We had the Giants winning it all. Come on.
Yeah.
Can't have too much here.
That helps in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
Okay, quick little announcement here. Celebrate the holiday season at Walking with Dinosaurs. Vern, you said you went to that.
I did, man. I tell you, it's the T-Rex is awesome, and it looks it's so realistic. I mean, these actors that are inside of these animals are
they're not just robotic?
No, not all robotic. There's actors inside of them, and just the mannerisms that they do. I mean, it's really a good show. It really is.
Okay, so
Those teeth scare me, though.
take a journey through prehistoric times with 20 life-size dinosaurs coming to SAP Center December 25th to December 28th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Okay, now today's trivia theme is going to be their original teams - NBA players. We'll see how much you guys know about their original teams. All right.
Okay.
So we're going to ask trivia questions at commercial breaks and giving away vacations if correct answers. On this show, we're going to talk about the skier who was banned for 4 years due to fixing races. Talk about a few weeks ago, Cam Newton had a car accident.
Yeah, man.
What are they going to do? Ban these guys from
Leave
driving?
facility, and what was he, T-bone or something like that? So, the car ran a light, just, oh, man.
It can happen to anybody.
And then what happens? You probably get death threats or something, from people who don't like the fact that they hit their quarterback. People act all kinds of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's happened, but that's happened before.
Wouldn't surprise me.
All right, stay with us. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We're going to come back with some great stories here.
I bet, you know what I'm thinking about? I never thought about that, but you think about the Southeastern Conference and how great those fans are.
Oh, my God.
If you're the quarterback of any of those teams, man, I bet you're getting all kinds of threats, hate, email. Oh, man. Dear N-word, you better go out there and win this game. I mean,
I would
sure
not be
happens
fun.
all the time.
Would not be fun.
I got a lot of money on this game.
Listen here, boy.
Oh, God. And that still happens.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of that. Yeah.
My cousin Cletus says that y'all go out there and...
Well, you lived in the South. I mean,
5
Virginia
years.
is the South, so you know.
5 years in Alabama.
That's the South.
Ages 8 to 13.
Where'd you work in Alabama?
Florence, Alabama.
Wow.
Right in the northwest tip of the state.
Wow. What years were this now?
Oh, that was the
This
North.
is 1969 to 1974.
Oh, you were just a kid.
Yeah, 8 to 13.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
but he was in the North, though.
The
North part,
North
not
Alabama. Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, like that maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like Virginia. I kind of think of Virginia as more.
Although I am slowly reconnecting with kids from my elementary school down
Nice.
there.
Now, your
So
dad
still there?
Really.
Your dad moved the family to Virginia.
My dad was with Reynolds Aluminum. He got a promotion to run an office at their location in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, which is just across the Tennessee River. So we had to move down there. He was transferred down there.
Wow.
And then after 5 years, they brought him back to corporate. So we moved back to Virginia.
Nice.
So,
Richmond, right?
Yep.
That's
Yes.
a nice town. You don't hear too much about Richmond. Historical, but also it's a nice town. It really is.
hang on.
Oh, Richmond, yeah.
Annie. Yeah, I'm taping a show right now, and I'll run over to pick him up right after that. Okay. Well, we're about to. What time is it now?
I think it's 4, isn't it?
4:15.
4:15. Yeah, I'll be there in time. Well, not if we keep talking on the phone. We're taping the show. Bye.
Eva doesn't understand that either. Eva doesn't understand that either. You got to get off the phone in order for me to continue on here.
Oh, boy.
She's called me while I was on the air.
Uh-huh.
She called me during the anchor toss to
Oh, no.
sports.
Jeez.
Yeah, but
On the
you don't have
newscast.
your phone on.
How long you
It
been
was,
married?
in my pocket, and I had it on vibrate,
Yeah.
and it was
How long you been married?
since 97.
No, that's yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Me since '89,
89.
and that's why I put this thing on like.
Yeah. That means since
Sorry, if it's an
95.
emergency, I missed it.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Okay.
Coming up on the Big 20 with Colette here. She wants me to do something special for her.
Of course she does. 20.
Yeah, you got to do something nice.
You know,
Got to get her a ring or something.
Well,
I
it's
know.
funny because one of these things here, in fact, instead of just doing a regular trade for I've got a couple things I've got. Like I've got this one place called the Senza Hotel in Napa. I don't know if you know it.
I've heard of it.
Well, it's
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got an overnight stay there.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
if you want to do something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. And I do like saying welcome back because I can't do it the other way. Okay.
It's okay. We'll hold you to it.
Thank you. That's the other stations that don't
That's
know that.
right.
Okay.
That's right.
Hey, listen.
Meantime, the audience is like, what's he talking
What are you
about?
talking about? Is hey, Sports Center can do it, I can do it.
That's right.
Okay, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern Glenn and Bruce McGowan. Okay, so first thing I wanted to talk about, I've had this for a few weeks here, but we never got around to it. The skier was banned for 4 years due to fixing races.
And this is a downhill skier,
I believe so. Vanessa May was banned.
and
American?
she was fixing races.
Apparently.
American?
How do you do that? So you have to go in cahoots with the other racers?
I guess that's what you have to do. It says here.
Hey man,
she-
race 7. Hey, let me.
Uh,
Yeah, I know I'm
Who was
favored to
one?
win,
Who
but
was-
I'm going to finish third. You get wow.
Well, it says
Man.
here that for taking part in races that were fixed to allow her to qualify for
interesting.
the Winter Olympics in Sochi. So apparently, I guess she was in on the fix.
Banned for
Allowing
4
her-
years though.
yeah,
That's
only for 4
Only
years.
for-
But just her? I got to believe there's got to be coaches,
Well,
other
it's just-
skiers
okay.
involved.
So the FIS also banned 5 race officials
Okay.
from Slovenia and Italy for being 1 and 2 years, for between 1 to 2 years for their role in the scandal.
interesting.
And it found to its comfortable satisfaction that the status of 4 women's giant slalom races were manipulated
Wow.
in January.
Now
in
here's
Slovenia.
my question: what do the officials? What do they get for looking the other way?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. It said here the scam involved falsely inflating the quality of 4 qualifying races to artificially boost her standings as a potential Olympian. Race rigging included inventing times for skiers who did not race and faking times for lower quality skiers who did finish.
How do they do that?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. It says here sole purpose of lowering the.
She
penalty
didn't
of
run
the
into that. She didn't run into that pole. It was a graceful run around it. Wow.
I tell you that if this was baseball, she'd be banished for life. Well, that's a no-no in baseball.
Okay, so race officials also broke rules by not changing the course design between the first and second runs and allowing skiers to continue in poor weather, which required abandonment.
Interesting.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there's all kinds of crazy things.
So they're creating a dangerous environment for the skiers on top of that.
All that kind of stuff.
Hey, here's an interesting quick story I'm going to throw at you. How about this? I just saw this in the paper the other day. Andre Drummond, he's the Pistons center. He took a picture with and then posted it on Snapshot photo of himself driving at 97 miles an hour. And his coach said, geez, I don't want to wake up and read about Andre Drummond being in an accident. And Drummond said, well, it was a silly mistake. I'll own up to it and move on. If you're the Detroit Piston coach or the team owner or the fans and you see this kid with a 97 mile an hour, he's moving that fast and he's taking a picture.
Yeah, so
and
I guess
posting it?
So I guess he's doing it. He's taking a picture of the odometer, I guess, or
That
his
is
pedometer.
crazy.
Well, yeah, that's.
Andre, come on. Let's get real here.
Look, Daddy, my hero Drummond. Hey, he's going that fast. All
I mean, when I
Oh,
was
man.
23, I did have a motorcycle, and I decided to open it up because I thought, I got to see how fast this
Would you
will
be?
go.
Weren't you scared? I
Of
mean,
course I was. But I was 23. And,
Oh, true.
Oh, yeah. You're immortal at that age.
So I took it on.
mortal or moron?
Both.
Well, both.
Okay, all right, okay.
And you're immortal.
So I had it going 95 miles an hour on Highway 37. For the rest of the audience here, if you go on a Sunday morning way back when,
Oh, yeah.
Nice
it was
flat strip of highway.
strip. Yeah, exactly. And I realized as I was driving, I go, I know if I hit a rock the wrong way, it's over.
It's over.
But so I was smart enough to know that. But I did it anyway. But I only did it for about.
Do you ever drive through Nevada, by the way? Just drive between Reno and Salt Lake on those long stretches. You can go for 10, I mean not 10, but at least 5 miles where you don't see another human being and it's just straight and flat, and you're driving 95 miles an hour and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it.
Oh, because the speed limit's like whatever is deemed proper or whatever.
Yeah. Some of those little towns though, like places like Lovelock and Winnemucca, you drive through there and any more than 40 and it's a speed trap. They'll nail you and they'll make you pay right away.
Sounds like the kind of place me and my brothers don't want to break down.
No. They don't want you breaking down in their neighborhood.
You ain't from around here.
You ain't from around here.
Boy.
What's you doing in this part of the country?
Yeah, but if they find out what you do for a living.
That don't matter.
Hey, did you see the movie Remember the Titans?
Oh,
Yeah.
Great movie, right?
Yeah, great film.
So what happens when suddenly Julius starts going to...
he's walking
in in a white neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And the cop kind of stops and he's like, so what can I do for you? And he looks, hey, nice game, keep it up.
Yeah.
See, and he's in the wrong neighborhood, but the thing is, because he was a star, they changed their
Yeah, but if I'm on a flat highway in Montana...
Yeah,
okay.
Montana's not a good place to be.
No, it's not.
No, not a good. Or Idaho, upstate Idaho.
Beautiful state, by the way.
Beautiful
But-
state.
but-
but
But they're all packing, right?
they are packing. Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
So, but speaking of car driving, maybe we just talked about it at break. Cam Newton,
Yes.
car accident,
Yeah.
out for the season?
Nasty. How badly was
Well,
injured
it's
was
back. I mean, it's you
Same
you
thing
can't.
Tony Romo.
it?
Yeah.
Wow. Ouch. That could be a life, not life-threatening, but career-ending kind of an injury.
Yeah, if you're Cam, you got to be thinking about your brand. Don't come back to. I don't know.
No, I had a car accident with a back injury.
What if the Panthers make the playoffs?
That
What
awful
then?
in that awful division, they could. How many teams? They're all below 500, aren't they? In the NFC South, every single team. The Saints have lost 4 in a row. They got killed at home. Killed.
Yeah, a couple weeks back by Carolina.
Oh my
yeah.
God. Woo.
And did you see the fight in the end zone? Because Cam wanted to do his little Superman
I
thing.
didn't
And
see that. That was
they didn't let him do it.
like that. No.
This one actually, I don't think it was Cam's fault, right?
No, I don't think it was. I think he got T-boned, didn't he?
He wasn't doing the 95 mile an hour.
No.
Okay. Let's see here. Josh Gordon, wide receiver for the Browns,
Number
sold
12.
cars during his drug suspension.
Sold cars, yeah.
So he did so well, he may work at the dealership on the off season.
Yeah, okay, great.
Okay, you know what? That's like the old days, Teddy Ballgame, right?
Yeah.
They used to have to work.
Got people skills.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. He worked hard. He stayed late. Came back to the Browns with a new attitude. So a great way to rehab his image. Hard work, not just taking a long vacation. Life lesson in maturity. What do you think?
We're taking passes from Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel,
Yeah.
that's a franchise that I think is finally going to turn the corner. When was the last time Cleveland won a championship in any sport?
Otto Graham.
1964.
1964.
Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Brown.
So it's 40 years.
I guess
50
Otto
years.
was retired by then.
Yeah, Otto was back in the 50s and the 40s. But it was a coach. He was a coach at that time. But Jim Brown, man, that's 50 years ago. Cleveland hasn't won. Well, the Indians almost won a couple times. But
they didn't.
They did.
But they did.
I like, Cleveland gets a bad rap, but I mean, that the whole configuration of downtown is awesome. The bars are cool, and all the stadium complexes are within a few blocks of each other.
Great sports.
It's awesome.
Great sports.
It really
They
is.
played at Municipal
Yeah.
Stadium. That was
Love
the largest
Cleveland.
stadium.
And I love, I guess it's no longer called Jacobs Field, whatever it's called now, but I love that ballpark where the Indians play. That's one of the better new ones. It really is.
And I was rooting for them against Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. I was rooting for him against the Marlins. And then Jose Mesa gave up that base hit to Edgar Renteria.
And then it was all over.
It's interesting how Jose Mesa and Edgar Renteria ended up playing for the Giants at different points after that. How about
Everyone
that?
always seems to play for the Giants at one point.
Yeah,
One of those teams.
Yeah.
And in fact, we'll go back to the Cubbies. Then what? 1908.
1908.
I
And
did
they haven't been to the World Series since 1945.
45. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Well, they're making a hard move to get a lot of players. I mean, they're going after they traded for Jeff Samardzija. They're going after they're making some moves. We'll see if it pans out.
Maybe that was a big reason why the thing with the Red Sox until 2004 was a big deal, was because they were in the World Series a few more times.
They were in,
but they kept losing.
They kept losing. 86. Of course, the one in 67 of the Cardinals. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to cut to our first commercial break, and the theme is their original team's NBA players. Tracy McGrady, a.k.a.
T-Mac.
T-Mac.
made his move into the NBA directly from high school in 1997. Though he is perhaps best known for his work with the Orlando Magic and Houston Rockets, he played his first 3 seasons with which NBA team? Okay. The first 3 emails with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Email edward@sportsecon101.com. Tracy
So the
McGrady.
original team of Tracy
The
McGrady.
original team of Tracy McGrady. Where did he play? Don't look it up on the internet. No fair. Okay. Stay with us. Sports Econ 101 will be right
I was
back.
actually looking up this watering hole.
Where did he play?
I don't know.
I'm thinking maybe Charlotte.
Memphis?
Memphis. No, I don't think Memphis was. I think they were still up in Vancouver at that time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Maybe he was with Portland.
Just keep naming teams eventually.
Eventually, I'll pick it. Yeah, I'm gonna say Portland or Charlotte. Yeah. It's funny. He's one of those guys that sort of, in my mind, I still see him, but he sort of slipped through the cracks. You know, he was a great player, but not
Wasn't
an
he
elite.
in the movie with Will Bow Wow?
He was in a movie.
Was that him?
You know, it was also in the movie the guy that the guard. What's his name? He's an older guy now. He played with the Celtics and he played with LeBron.
Byron Allen? Or Byron Allen?
What's his name?
Ray Allen?
Ray Allen. Yeah, Ray Allen was good.
Oh, yeah.
He was very good. What was the name of that film? Basketball something. Came out about 12 years ago. He played a college kid and he pretty much played himself. You know, he just
Wasn't Basketball Diaries, was it?
no.
Yeah, there was
Love and
Like
Basketball.
Mike.
Love and Basketball?
Yeah, he was good.
Basketball.
I'm
I like that
surprised.
movie, Like
I think he was so good because he didn't have to try hard. He played himself. He played the role of a basketball player. So they told him, you don't have to. We're not asking you to be somebody else. Just be yourself. So he was very natural.
Okay.
Some athletes can do that. We're gonna do a Hollywood thing with athletes sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Sports
Well,
movies.
Hollywood
we
thing?
have.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's.
All right. What's your favorite sports movie of all time, by the way?
Mine?
Yeah. What's yours, Vern?
I gotta think about that.
Okay.
There's so many.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
That's kind of a fun thing. I
Yeah.
got a couple things here.
Okay.
Here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown, Vern Glenn, and Bruce McGowan.
Yeah, we're back.
We back. We back.
Way back.
Oh, way back.
Way back.
Okay, the trivia theme, their original teams, NBA players. Tracy McGrady, a.k.a. T-Mac, made his move into the NBA directly from high school in 1997. Though he is perhaps best known for his work with the Orlando Magic and Houston Rockets, he played his first 3 seasons with which NBA team?
I'm gonna say Portland. I don't know why I'm thinking Portland, but I'm gonna say Portland.
There is an R in the name.
Charlotte?
No.
No, not Portland.
The Toronto Raptors.
Oh yes.
Wow.
There you go.
Yep.
Toronto Raptors.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Bruce, you were asking us a question off there.
Oh, I was gonna say, what's your favorite sports movie? You know, Vernon was still.
God, there's so many.
Does Major League count?
Yeah. That could,
I like that
Yeah.
one.
I think Hoosiers for me because Gene Hackman was just amazing,
Oh yeah.
and I love Remember the Titans with Denzel
Oh
Washington.
yeah, I think that's one of my
Hoosiers
favorites.
was good. Remember the Titans was good. Greatest Game Ever Played was good,
Yeah, that was
based
good,
on
yeah.
Francis Olmsted, the golf movie.
Golf.
And
Caddyshack.
8 Man Out.
Eight Man Out was good.
That was pretty good. For some reason that
Well,
one didn't quite do it for me.
I think it was very authentic. It was
Field of
well-
Dreams was
Field
good.
of Dreams was terrific.
Little Big League. You ever see that one?
No.
That's where a little kid inherits the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, right.
What was the Redford movie? The Redford baseball movie.
The Natural.
Natural, that was good.
How about
Right,
the
Yankees?
How about Grand Prix with James
Oh my
Garner?
God, I remember watching that in the movies
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
James Garner, who did all his own stunt work, and Steve McQueen was also in one where he did his own stunt work, and I can't
Oh,
remember what.
he was known for doing
Yeah.
it.
Great auto. Well, he of course pioneered the car chase scenes in that famous movie. I think it was like a 12-minute segment in Bullet, which was shot in the street
In San Francisco, yeah. Great car chase scene.
Okay, what's your favorite bowling movie? Come on.
Oh,
the Big Lebowski.
Kingpin.
Okay.
Kingpin.
Yeah.
With Woody Harrelson, right?
There was one that was supposed to be trying to be real called Dreamer, The Dreamer, back
Oh.
in the late 70s. Terrible movie. Cute girl, terrible movie. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, so we covered the Josh Gordon. Hey, Landon Donovan just retired.
Yeah.
Huh? He retired a champion.
Good guy.
Do you think he's the greatest American soccer player of all time?
Mm.
Who else was there? There's Kyle Rote, right?
Yeah.
So he was very good.
Certainly, you're not going to find an American soccer player more decorated than Landon
I
Donovan.
know. I mean,
That is
Tim,
for
Tim
sure.
Howard gets a lot of credit because he had a terrific time as the goaltender in the last World Cup, but his name, he hadn't been on the radar.
I think if you can, if you have to put one face on the Mount Rushmore of American soccer, it would be Landon Donovan.
Yeah, it would have to be.
I would think.
Yeah, man, he spent a lot of time with San Jose and then also with LA, so we've had him out in the West Coast. Been lucky to have him.
I believe he's the career goal scoring leader for American international soccer.
Yeah,
Yeah. So he's the man.
he's the
All right.
man.
He is the man.
Yeah,
Now, a couple of weeks ago, the Warriors were 17-2, I think it was.
18-2.
18-2.
Yeah,
Why are they doing so well this year?
depth.
Is it all Steve Kerr?
Depth a good coach who knows how to let these guys play. Maurice Spates, who ever heard of this guy coming in and playing out of his
Strong,
board?
very strong bench.
Yeah,
Very strong bench. Amazing defense. And they're just they're feasting on the East Coast teams.
Yeah.
They won a lot of road trips already. It's not even mid-December, which means they got a lot of home games coming up in January.
well, and you look
And
at Vernon, you look at Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. That's the best backcourt.
And they have just been lights out. And they've had the benefit of having most of these games where all the shots are falling.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens when the shots don't fall, when they get to really grind it out, where maybe more is asked of Andrew Bogut. I mean, Bogut right now, although a lot of times quietly, a lot of the offense runs through Bogut, but when he's asked to really put the team on his back and really score, I want to see what happens then.
Yeah,
What's
that's
happening with David Lee?
David Lee is going to have a tough time coming
It's a
back.
hamstring, man. It's a
Yeah.
funny thing.
At
you
his
know?
age.
He tried to come back, re-injured it again. I mean,
he's always been a starter, but he's always been a starter on teams that really weren't that good. And it's got to be tough for him because
yeah, that's where Sean Livingston comes
Yeah.
to play. Guys like that coming
Yeah.
off the bench in relief of him.
well, and you got Draymond Green. This
Festus
kid-
Ezeli's
Festus
healthy, and just
But-
it's just been great.
Draymond Green has been another guy that has stepped forward.
Yeah.
The kid from Michigan State, he had 31 the other night. He had 7 3-pointers. This kid's 6'10".
Their confidence is high,
Yeah.
and they're fearless.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody out there that they. Oh gosh, man, we're playing.
The Spurs.
The closest ones would be, I would say, their next opponent. They got the Houston Rockets.
Houston
That'll be a
Rockets,
test,
yeah.
and they got that at home. And then anytime they play the San Antonio Spurs with
And-
everybody in the lineup.
And Dallas on the road will be tough, and Memphis on the road will be tough. The thing about the Warriors, too, they remind me of a Warrior team many, many years ago. And I was just a kid out of college. I got to cover the Warriors when they won the championship. And those guys really liked each other, Vernon. And they truly liked each other, and they were selfless, and they didn't mind coming in and being role players because it was for the greater good. And I think that's the key with this team.
It's amazing how. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay.
It's amazing how those little intangibles really make a difference.
They do. You don't have to get along to be successful. There are a lot of teams that haven't, but the Warriors really like each other. And Steve Kerr walked into a great situation. I mean, this team was a good team. Mark Jackson put his stamp on this
Yeah,
team.
Kerr got the keys to a really
Yeah.
expensive car, a near 60-win team from
Yeah.
last year,
And he knows it.
and it's just kind of refined and retooled, and
Yeah.
they're buying whatever he is selling. And unfortunately, in the eyes of America, LeBron James is not on that team. So I mean, they get on national TV, but by the time they're on, it's 10:30 p.m.
Yeah.
East Coast time.
You know what's
So
interesting?
nobody gets a chance to really see them.
Yeah.
But Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh, they're playing. Oh, they must be on national
Yeah.
TV.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
The Warriors were 30-1 odds against 30-1 to win a championship, which for them is great at the beginning of the season. Now
Odds got to be better now.
Now it's 7-1. The
Wow.
other teams better are Cleveland and the defending champions.
Cleveland's got
Spurs.
better odds than the Warriors.
Because of LeBron,
Because of LeBron.
and Kevin
Kevin
Love
Love,
and
yeah.
Kyrie Irving. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good
He's
team.
And that team has yet to put it together
And
consistently.
they will. You know they will.
But at some point, yeah, they're going to wake up.
LeBron will get that team to play together.
But the Warriors have beaten them all.
Yeah.
They've beaten them all so far.
Well, they had a bad game.
They lost to Phoenix and they lost to San Antonio.
Yeah.
That's it.
They had a game against Orlando where they were really looking poor, and they managed to pull it out.
Found a way to win.
Found a way to win on a 3-point shot in transition by Curry. And now one thing I love about them is that they play They play the old-fashioned way. They pass around a lot. They space the floor a lot. They move the ball around, and they run and gun, which is a lot of fun. Fans love that fast pace.
Yeah.
They like to move the ball up court.
Yeah, they got good matchups. The screens have been set. They've gotten good looks, and again, like I said, I mean they've been nailing their shots. It's a really good shooting team.
That's why maybe the Spurs getting a little too old with those legs.
Well, the Spurs are
Well,
still the Spurs.
I think Steve Kerr said it best. He said, "Man, when we played them, I looked down at the other bench, and the same guys I played for when I retired in '02 are still there, and they're still dominant."
Well, and that's why Popovich, sits out a guy like a Tim Duncan or a Tony Parker for a couple games and saves their legs.
Yeah.
And he gets flack for it, but it's a smart move.
Yeah.
These guys will be healthy. I mean, they may not have the stuff to take them all the way this year, but they're going to be in the mix, and I think the Warriors are going to have to, if they get to the finals this year, the conference finals, they're going to have to find a way to beat the Spurs.
Yeah, it's. I've noticed this year more than other years.
And let's don't forget the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh,
yeah, no,
because,
exactly.
because
Yeah.
the Memphis has been like the awful ex-girlfriend of the Warriors for years. They just know all the they know the buttons to push. The Warriors just crumble in their presence. Somehow Memphis always seems to get over on the Warriors when it really counts.
And it seems like this year I've noticed more than others. If you look at the standings, it's really like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer type thing. The Warriors are doing fantastic. Memphis doing really well. The Lakers and Philadelphia are like really doing poorly.
Yeah, Boston's in the dumper. I mean, the Sixers are in the dumper. All the big market teams, Boston, New York, and the Sixers, three of the great markets in the NBA, are just awful this year. And the Lakers.
You guys, I'll point this out. It's late December. So we
got a lot of seasons to go.
We got months to go.
Yeah.
Now, if we're having this conversation in
March,
late April,
Yeah.
hey, bring it on. Yeah.
Well, the Warriors look like one of the better teams this year, but again, health is a key. And Andrew Bogut has never been able to stay healthy, and he's had some tendonitis issues. This guy's had all sorts of problems. If they can keep him healthy for 60 games this regular season, I think that's a bonus. But I don't count on more than 60 for him in the regular season. I think they have to rest him from time to time because without him, they're not as good a team. They don't have that force underneath.
Well, outside of Bogut, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, nobody out there knows these guys.
No.
So hopefully by April, they'll at least be able to name the starting
and
five.
I said from the beginning, I said I just don't see David Lee as part of this equation.
Well, he's going to have a tough time coming back because Draymond Green has taken that spot, and Maurice Spates has picked up a lot of the minutes. And, as badly as Andre Iguodala has played, because they've had to put him in a reserve role, he's getting a lot of time.
How old is he?
About 31.
Okay, so
29, 31, something
maybe
like
a little
that.
bit towards
He's
the
had
end.
some injury issues.
Well, yeah, he was injured in the offseason.
Yeah.
He's trying to work his way back.
Good guy, though. Good guy.
But I mean, boy, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, he's the guy that has taken a step back and not complained because he knows.
Well, you can. They're winning.
Yeah. They're winning. Yeah, 18-2.
Can't say anything.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to cut to our second commercial break here. The theme is their original teams, NBA players. Ron Artest, a.k.a. Meta World Peace, became notorious in 2004 when he got into a fight with a fan in the stands during a game between the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons. I remember that.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Come on, what was the name? They had a name for that game.
That was.
We'll think about it.
It got a lot of play.
Yeah. Where did he begin his career?
Meta World Peace?
Yeah.
Meta World
Okay.
Peace.
The first three emails with the correct answer are going to win that free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. So Ron Artest, basically, here's the question. Where did he begin his career? Stay with us. Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back.
He moved around.
What do they call that game? There's a game. There's a specific,
Yeah,
the Thrill in Manila.
I
remember.
I just always remember watching you can go on to YouTube and find it now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He and a teammate, there was a teammate involved
Yeah,
also.
with two teammates.
Yeah, they went up into the stands. They were kicking the crap out of those guys. The guy dumped popcorn and a soda, didn't they? Isn't that what they did? Literally dumped it right on him. Yeah.
Yeah, that one got really nasty.
Ron Artest. I always thought he started in Indiana, but he didn't. Huh?
That's what I thought too.
How many teams he played for?
It should be like Houston or somebody else.
Houston. He played with the Lakers. He played with. It's funny. I can remember the older guys better than I can the recent guys.
Yeah. That's what happens in our age.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm collecting my Social Security, so don't give me any crap about being old. And I met a Vietnam vet today, nicest guy. And he was telling me, I said, what was it like being over there? Where did you get any heavy combat? He goes, oh yeah, you ever remember a place called Quezon? I go, no shit. That was during the Tet Offensive, right in the middle of that mess.
That's like Eva's dad was on Pork Chop Hill.
Oh, in the Korean War,
Yeah.
that was the battle. Yeah.
But fortunately, his gun got screwed up, so he couldn't.
Just how you
He had to kind of hide for a couple days.
yeah. That was
No,
weren't we
they saved his
overrun
life.
by the North Koreans in that battle, and
Yeah.
then they eventually did win it back. Though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's
Horrible.
They even made a movie with it. So.
They did. That was a vicious battle. North Korea, the Hermit Kingdom. Well, that place is crazy. That's one place I have no desire to ever go anywhere near North Korea.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, South Korea's a little different.
Yeah, a little different. A little different.
In fact, Max Venable was coaching over there. And
Max is such a Max, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Very well, yeah.
And Max.
And he said,
gotta
he
get
goes,
Max
"Oh,
on the
how
show."
was it? And I'm thinking, you'd be like popular because it just seems like you get popular because, they weren't that friendly.
Where is Max
Wow.
these days?
He's back.
We gotta get him to come down in here because he's a
Yeah, I've
baseball.
asked
He's
him,
not a
but
big name, but he's
No,
a baseball
but
lifer.
also
He's kind of low key.
He's very low key.
I know he is. Yeah, his sister. I used to go out with his sister's his wife's older sister
Oh yeah.
in high school. Yeah, we went out and she's a sweetheart. And she's
Yeah, I love Molly.
yeah, Molly's great.
I don't know the sister well. But
Jennifer, I used to have the crush on her. She was a real. Now she just looks like any other 60-year-old woman.
Yeah,
Back in the day, she was quite the.
I know.
She was
isn't it
quite.
funny?
No, I shouldn't say that.
I
She's a sweetheart. I really like Jennifer. Great.
Yeah, I
gal.
had a crush on this one girl, and I saw her not too long ago, and she looks.
I know. Life isn't fair sometimes. Us guys can get away with a little more.
That's true.
Women don't have as
See,
high.
this gray hair makes me look extinguished.
Oh, jeez. Extinguished. How about mine? I got the gray beard too. Damn, a gray beard.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Here you go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. I'm Edward Brown. Vern, wake up.
We're soldiering on.
We are. First account. I like to tease these guys. Okay, so here's our.
Bing, bing, the bell ring. Where are you at?
I never heard that. That's good. Okay, so the question is their original teams, NBA players. Ron Artest, a.k.a. Meta World Peace. I don't know where he got the name from, but became notorious in 2004 when he got into a fight with a fan in the stands during a game between the Indiana Pacers and Detroit Pistons. That was the one where he's lying on the scorer's table. Remember that? Where did he begin his career?
Where was his NBA career
He
started?
played with Houston. He played with the Lakers. He played with Indiana. Where else did he play?
Was it the Rockets? No. He's from the Rockets.
Denver. No.
I'm gonna go. Denver's a good guess. I'm gonna go Denver as his
You would be
original
wrong.
team. All right.
Where?
Chicago Bulls.
The Chicago Bulls.
He played with the Bulls.
Wow.
That's cool.
Did you ever interview him, by the way, Vernon?
Ron Artest?
Yeah.
Never did.
I talked to him a couple times. Interesting guy.
Never did.
Kind of a strange character.
You know what I saw the other night? A Donald Foyle.
Oh,
Nah,
yeah,
there's
he's
a
nice
there's
guy.
I
a
saw-
quality person.
That's a guy. That's a guy that should be on the show. He probably still has the first dollar ever made in the NBA.
Colgate University, and he's from a little tiny island in the Caribbean, and he's one of the smartest people you'd ever meet.
Organizer of a program called Democracy Matters.
Yeah.
He just
A great
he's
guy.
he's Mr. Portfolio. The NBA guys would go to him
Yeah, he's a
for
great
for investment advice.
And he
Oh,
was
yeah.
just a journeyman player who managed to play for what 8 years, but he signed a big contract.
Yeah, he
And
made-
it wasn't
yeah.
huge, but it was a good sized contract.
And he managed it well.
He managed
Did
it well.
big time.
He's got to be in his late 30s now.
Yeah,
Yeah, great
Oh,
guy.
nice guy. Just
Big
super
guy.
nice guy.
Big guy, about 6'8", probably about 250.
I think he's taller. than that.
Big wingspan.
Maybe
Yeah.
6'10". Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a sweetheart. Yeah, Don was a great guy.
Okay.
We'll work on that. I got his number.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's
We'll get
definitely
him on.
have him on.
Yeah.
He's around the area too, isn't he?
He does spend some
I
time
think so.
here.
He's got a home here.
Yeah, he spent some time here.
But I just saw him at a charitable function.
Yeah, he seems like a charity stuff. Okay, so Ndamakong Suh and
Ndamakong
Warren Buffett.
That's right. They're buddies.
Yeah. So I got this thing here. So Sue routinely meets with Buffett and former TD Ameritrade CEO Joe Moglia, who's now the football coach for Coastal Carolina.
Isn't that something?
And Sue met with former NBA star Magic Johnson, and he said he took like 10 pages of notes, and also from retired Hall of Fame quarterback Roger Staubach, who's also very successful. So despite only 27, he's only age 27, he's been positioning himself for the past for post football life for the last few years. And his
You would have got to get advice from
Man, Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett.
yeah,
Man.
I know, isn't that amazing? So it says he's time management and already having 2 jobs at once, playing football and going to class and getting good grades.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's 27?
27.
Wow.
All right. And he studied, he likes contracts. He did like construction management, so it wasn't just typical, communications or.
No, he's fascinated with the business world. He really
Yeah,
is.
exactly. So on Tuesdays, which is the day off from NFL week, he focuses on conference calls with advisors. He says, I don't watch TV, I don't play video games. I like reading contracts. I just like looking at business deals. I just want to understand it.
Yeah, he sounds
He's
like
Good
a
for him.
good
Hey,
guy.
good for him, man.
Yeah.
He's investing in stuff he understands.
I always think of Ndamakong Suh. Unfortunately, he is a great player, but he got that bad rap for stomping on a guy during the game.
Not
And,
just once, but
yeah, but
Still got a rep as being a bad boy.
yeah, didn't
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago he just got into some kind of
Hit somebody.
Scuffle,
Hit some quarterback in the face.
well, he's going to be in the postseason. I mean, the lines will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat here. It says he generally the same lesson that his business mentors teach him, and that is to be patient. So
Patience is the key.
he's invested in condominiums, restaurant deals, which I'm not sure if I agree with.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Yeah, exactly, in Nebraska. And he's shown a maturity with his money. It says here, he says his life skills are rare, okay? Even high draft picks can leave the NFL with little money due to poor investments and wasteful spending. We hear that all the
Was
time.
it 90% of all NFL players end up with a lot less? Maybe some of them even in poverty.
Yeah, within a few years of retirement.
It's something like 90%. It's alarming how many, and that's not just NFL players. It's NBA. It's Major League Baseball.
Lose everything, man.
Yeah.
Houses, cars, the shorties. They all leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fans and the hangers-on and the girlfriends, they leave too.
Yeah.
The money runs out.
Yeah.
It says here he didn't want to take his money and invest in something he didn't understand. It says want to understand Buffett as a person, not a stock tip or the next thing that he's getting involved in. Because I want to understand what made him successful. So he got a construction management degree, and he featured plenty of engineering classes, which got to be tough. And he created an ability to problem solve. Very good.
Smart kid.
And he
Young man.
attends charter.
Hey, going to real estate, commercial real estate.
Well,
Become a tycoon.
He'll be out of football in a couple of years. Maybe if he's lucky, he'll be out of football in 4 or 5 years. But the rest of his life, he's setting himself up. Smart kid, smart young man.
Edward will worm his way into having a chance to meet him.
That's it.
Yeah,
let's do business.
I'll
Yeah.
mentor him a little bit
Get him on
myself.
Sports Econ 101.
Yeah.
That's
there
it.
you go.
Got to do it. So what's going on in the Redskins locker room?
Oh man, can you imagine?
And RG3?
Go on, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that locker room.
Boy, you think we have dysfunction out here in San Francisco?
Oh man, gosh.
What has happened to poor RG3?
Well, Jay Gruden he's just had it with RG3.
I mean, he was a
he
great
inherited him and
player.
just didn't. Hey,
Well, he was hurt. He's hurt. I mean, it's no
Jay
question.
Gruden's a former quarterback, not in the NFL, but I mean he's been around the block for a long
That's
time.
John Gruden's brother, right?
John Gruden's little brother, yeah. And it just
oil and water, huh?
it's oil and water.
Yeah.
I mean, this RG3 was I don't want to. I'm oversimplifying, but he was the owner's pet.
Yeah.
And everybody knew it, and it's just been tough for him to really get the respect of the entire locker room. Then he goes out there and he doesn't perform, and then they had that one press conference with Jay Gruden. I mean, just honest to a fault, just broke down his entire game, all of his flaws.
That was a stunner.
In front of everybody.
That was. You
That
don't see
was
a coach
bad.
ever do
That was bad.
That was not good.
Threw him right under the bus.
Well, he's no longer. I mean, he's not even an average quarterback. He was a high-quality quarterback, but the injuries have just robbed him of his mobility, of whatever.
Well, it says here the players lost faith in him, and it's actually his off-the-field demeanor that ticks off his fellow players the most. It says he's secluded and it affects us in the game. We don't have real rapport. He's lost confidence and is complacent.
Wow. We thought we had problems out here with Colin Kaepernick. I don't sense that Kaepernick has got major problems with his teammates. I don't sense that there's
I don't
a
sense that
schism.
either.
I think it's mostly the media just doesn't like the guy because he's not real friendly with the media. But RG3, if he's got problems in his own huddle, that is bad news. That's terrible.
Yeah, like we told a guest a couple weeks ago or last week, if your team loses confidence in you, I mean that's worse than any cancer you could have in the locker room.
Yeah.
I mean that is it. Your quarterback,
You're done.
Yeah, especially your quarterback.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you have a punter. Well, punters are important, but someone you've got 4 deep in, a linebacker or something.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't afford to have that in your quarterback, and especially with all the high expectations, and he's a young guy, and he's dynamic, and then all of a sudden, what happens? It's kind of like, we've, again, making a comparison to Colin Kaepernick is unfair because it's a much different situation, but there are some similarities. Kaepernick has not been hurt, but Kaepernick, I think that the cast around him has been hurt, and that's what's inhibited him, and he hasn't helped himself out, obviously, by not being more agreeable with the media, so,
Did you know that Jim Harbaugh recruited both him and Andrew Luck, thinking that he could have a 2-quarterback system at Stanford?
I didn't know he went after
Yeah,
Kaepernick at
yeah.
Stanford. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the combination of those guys?
RG3 and Andrew Luck?
No. I thought you said Colin Kaepernick.
No, RG3
Oh,
and
okay.
Andrew Luck
Okay.
recruited them both
Yeah. Okay, I thought
Wow.
you
to
said
come to
Kaepernick.
Stanford. Yeah.
Wow. I did
Wow.
not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Whew.
Well, Luck's a big boy. He's gonna.
I'm telling you, I think, Harbaugh has done as much as he
He
can
may
with
have
Kaepernick.
the best passing season by the time
He's
this
amazing.
this is done this year.
I remember I covered a lot of Stanford games when he was
Luck
there a
is
few
just-
years ago because I was doing some work with Stanford, and you could tell this guy was a man among boys. I mean, and Harbaugh deserves some credit for that. I don't know what's happened with Kaepernick and Harbaugh. I don't know what's
Andrew Luck also had a father that played,
That's
Oliver.
true. Yeah.
So that helped too.
That helped. And his
So-
father's still involved. Wasn't he an athletic director?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's at West Virginia,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
There you go.
So
Moving on here. How much is fantasy football affecting the NFL's popularity? The reason I mention this is that they're predicting.
certainly not in a negative way.
No.
But here's what I'm getting
This is
at.
there's a whole TV show based on fantasy football.
Okay.
And you look at the sports pages today, and they have a whole page,
Whole page,
dedicated
yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. It says here the NFL draft is expected to draw more viewers than the NBA playoffs.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, the NBA playoffs are awful.
Yeah.
They're until you get to like semifinals and finals.
Yeah.
The numbers are down.
Numbers are down.
If the NBA playoffs were that great, every game would be on ABC, but they farm them out. You see them on ESPN.
Well, I
and
guess,
other-
because there are
TBS
there are a lot of playoff games.
There are too many.
Yeah.
It's a whole month. Is it 2 months? It's 2 months. May and June, the entire 2 months they play.
I guess if they said the NBA finals, then I would be a little bit crazy.
Oh, sure, yeah. But
But just, the NFL draft, after the first couple of picks, it's like, okay.
People like to watch it. I remember back in 1980 when I was working up in Seattle, it was a big deal then, but it wasn't anything like it is today. I think a lot of it has to do with ESPN. They said, hey, we need some programming in this. They turned that into a big deal.
Well, didn't we talk about this a few weeks ago about how the World Series was being kind of pushed aside for like some Sunday night NFL game that had 2 teams that nobody really cared about?
oh yeah. NFL, it's just a knockout punch every time.
It is.
Versus the World Series,
Well, I think
the NFL is king, and always will be.
It always will be, and I think it's a lot of casual fans. It's an event. Every game's an event. Baseball, even when you get to the World Series, it's not as big a deal as it used to be.
And there's so much money on the line,
Yeah.
Vegas-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
it's hard,
people
it's
love
hard to make
football.
money betting on baseball.
Or
it really
the other
is.
sports too. I think
Yeah.
basketball to a lesser degree, but football is perfect for betting. It really
I
is.
guess it's interesting. I guess with the NBA and baseball, it's not a one-game playoff.
No.
Whereas in football,
Football, it's one
do
game,
or die.
do or die when
One
you
or
get to the postseason. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I can see that kind of changing, but on a weekly basis, though, it's like 2 teams who don't really Philadelphia and playing the Raiders, let's say.
No?
Come on, who's going to watch that instead of watching the 7th game of the World Series?
Well, that's true. But
Be
George
surprised.
the late great George Patton once said, Americans love to fight. They love the sting of battle. That's why they like football.
Yeah, but you have a 95-mile-an-hour fastball coming at you. What's more stinging than that? huh?
Yeah, but if you're in 2 market teams that let's say it's San Francisco and Kansas City. If you're not a baseball purist and you're not in either one of those towns, well, what do you care about?
Yeah.
What do you care about that series?
Unless you're
Nothing.
Well, like I
You
said,
know.
baseball purists.
You know,
There are a lot of baseball
but
fans.
if you got two NFL teams battling each other,
Yeah.
there's a lot on the line money wise.
There's a lot of baseball fans out there, but they're not enough to make a huge difference. It's still a very popular sport in this country, but the NFL has been king
Yeah,
for
but
what,
it's
40 years?
America's sport.
But I don't have to tell you. I mean, you're these businessmen, they're in the business of making
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
gotta
if,
go where the
and
money
they figure if they can make money, then you would see baseball on a national network.
Well, you know
like
they
that.
weren't very happy when the Tampa Bay Rays got into the World Series.
Of course
That's a very
not.
small market.
No.
Okay,
No.
here's our third and final commercial break trivia question. Again, the theme is their original teams, NBA players. Adrian Dantley,
AD.
Oh,
AD,
yes.
known as Utah's highest scoring player in the early 1980s, began. What team did he begin with?
Oh, I know that answer.
Adrian
Really?
Dantley's original team.
That's
I think
pretty
I know
good.
that too.
Wow,
Yeah, I think I
I'd
know
be
that
impressed.
too.
I thought
Yeah.
this was going to be hard. All right, stay with us. Sports Econ 101. I'll be right back.
The Lakers, right?
I'm not
Pretty
saying
sure-
I'm not
pretty-
saying
I'm
I
anything.
pretty
thought it was
sure
the
it
Detroit Pistons.
Well,
AD?
I thought, yeah, let's give it a shot. I thought the Lakers, but maybe the Lakers was later. There's a guy I remember interviewing him, and he was in a pissed off mood when I talked to him. First time I ever interviewed an NBA
Was it
player.
after a loss?
No, it was after a win. I'll never forget this. He was playing with the Lakers, and it was about 1977, and I never had an NBA player be rude, and he was the first run. And I thought, gee, did I ask him a bad
Maybe he didn't
question?
get enough touches. Maybe something happened in the
Yeah,
game.
he just was having a rough. And you're a young kid. I was
Well,
like
it could be
20.
a personal thing. Maybe his wife was yelling at him.
No, I was a 25-year-old kid, so I thought, why is he getting mad at me?
That's the big. What do you think, Bruce? I think that's the biggest. I don't want to say it's a misconception, but that's a big thing that people don't realize when they get together and they talk about these games. Niners, Raiders, whatever. I mean, they're talking about it. Like it's, like it's a game. Oh well.
Yeah.
Without realizing that, I mean, these are real people
Yeah.
playing these games with real lives.
Yeah.
With that get up just like we do and just
Yeah.
happen to play football for a living.
Well, the thing is also that so many people in the media that take it personally when the guy doesn't give a good interview. And I know we rapped on Kaepernick because he's not the most likable guy, but they're not paid to be friendly to the media. It helps them if they are. It behooves them if they do.
Yeah.
But that's not what they're paid to do.
Let's finish this up because
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right,
It's
gotcha.
2 minutes.
Might as well.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Last time, I'm Edward Brown, your host, Vern Glenn, and Bruce McGowan in the studio here. Third, final trivia question. Adrian Dantley, though known as Utah's highest scoring player in the early 1980s, began with what team?
Well, I'm going to say the Lakers, but Vern came up with
I
another.
thought it might be the Pistons, but you might be right.
This is tough. Both of you guys are wrong. This is a tough one.
Oh,
The
really?
team- this team is no longer in the
No
NBA.
longer in operation.
Yeah.
Well, what was his original team?
The Buffalo Braves.
Oh,
Wow.
1976.
Well, they moved to San Diego and became the Clippers, and then moved
San
to
Diego
LA and
Clippers.
they're now the Clippers.
Oh, is that how that
Wow.
transitioned?
Yeah,
Not
that
bad,
Buffalo
not bad.
Braves. Bob McAdoo played for the Buffalo Braves and was the MVP.
Buffalo Braves.
Buffalo Braves. I
Wow.
don't even remember that team.
Yeah, they were a good team
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the mid-'70s, late '70s. They were a good team,
Yeah.
Wow.
but they just didn't, for whatever
They,
reason,
they,
they were
they,
bad
they
married.
didn't draw, and they just
Yeah.
they had to move. They had to
Yeah.
relocate.
Yeah, moved to San Diego, and then Wilt Chamberlain. No, he didn't play with it.
No.
He played the ABA with the San Diego Conquistadors. Yeah, we were around for about 1 minute.
Like the Seattle Pilots.
Yeah.
Okay, here's our thoughts for the day. Obsessed is a word the unmotivated use to describe the dedicated. Let me read that again.
I like that.
Obsessed is a word the unmotivated use to describe the dedicated. I thought that was pretty good. And if your relationship still works, you can do more training.
My wife is always telling me that.
I was going to
Still
say,
work
you're
at
going
it.
to tell that one to my wife.
Still work at it.
So you knew I was going to say.
Ah.
All right, so everybody out there, you guys have a very nice Christmas. 'Cause by the time we're back on, we will have already had Christmas.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
All right.
so tune
Same
in
to
next
you.
week.
Same to you.
Thank you,
And a
Brad.
ho 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 to you.
Yeah, and you too, Vernon.
Tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective, giving away more free vacations for answering sports trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
Ho ho ho, America.
Oh. And that's
All right, that
it,
was fun.
guys.
So we're not back for after